Hello, one and all, and thank you very much for tuning into episode 257 of Love at First Scent with me, Persolaise, coming to you live from YouTube. And in this episode, we're going to be focusing on this. This is not the proper bottle of this one. You all know what the proper bottles of these look like because this is the latest Aqua Allegoria from Guerlain. Before we actually smell it, I should say, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do consider doing so. Please leave a question, a comment. I usually get round to them in due course, whether you're watching live or you're watching the recording. And the first comment today goes to Rich, who says, hello back at you as well, but we are sentient is here too. Stephen is here as well, saying, what does the tongue emoji mean? I don't understand that. Mateusz is saying hello, and Eliza is saying hello from Warsaw. Cześć. I wonder where in Warsaw. So for the benefit of those of you watching live, like I said in the video that I just finished a couple of minutes ago, this is the second, hopefully, of 3 videos. And then I would very much invite you to come over to Instagram, where the tables are going to be turned and I am going to be interviewed as part of the Effluvium podcast. But tomorrow, that is Monday, the 7th of March, at 5 p.m. UK time, I am going to be interviewing Alessandro Brun about his newish brand, Milano Fragranze. So lots and lots and lots happening. Right, let's not delay any longer. This is the new Aqua Allegoria. Many of you will know that the Aqua Allegoria range, which has been around from Guerlain for a couple of decades now, I believe, over 2 decades, is this idea of sort of simpler, 2-accord scents that are generally, but not always, generally meant to be sort of fresher, leaning more towards the floral side, uplifting, not particularly need to be long-lasting. And then some of them stick around in the range, some of them don't. Basically, I think the idea is that if they do well, they stick around, and then some of them don't stick around for as long. Herba Fresca, or Herba Fresca by Mathilde Laurent, I'm just going to leave that there. From the original range, together with Pampelune, are still there. Mandarin Basilic, I believe, is still, but I think those are the only 3 of the sort of older ones that are still around. Chang says, please review Musc Outre Blanc of Guerlain one day. Stick around. We're going to try and do this one next, okay? So don't say I don't listen. That'll be hopefully in the next video. I couldn't resist when I got this sample the other day. I couldn't resist smelling it because I'm a fan of the Aqua Allegoria range, you know, as a range, as a collection. I may like some more, less than others, but, you know, that's okay. That's how it goes. I will never, ever, ever be without a bottle of Herba Fresca. I will never be without a bottle of Pampelune. And I was very, very taken, what was it, 3 summers ago? I think it was 2019, I think, with the Bergamot Calabria, which I thought was one of the better ones that they'd done. And I'm very, very, very happy that they still exist within the Guerlain world. And this one that I tried for the first time a few days ago, I thought, ooh, this again goes to the sort of gets added to the list of the better ones. I haven't even said what it's called yet, have I? It's called, or have I? I can't remember. You can see it in the title of the video. So it's Aqua Allegoria Nerolia Vetiver, or Nerolia Vetiver. I'm not quite sure how you're supposed to pronounce. I never really know which languages the Aqua Allegoria names reference, but this is Nerolia Vetiver. So again, the names always tell you what to expect, a Neroli and a Vetiver, and this one has been credited to both Thierry and Delphine Jelk. Claire Gardner says Pampelune is glorious, and really interesting, actually, isn't it? Really original. So this, there you go, Heinke. Thank you very much for the surprise, because you're saying, wow, a Vetiver Aqua Allegoria. And when I found out the name, I thought, oh, well, we don't usually see, you know, woods, Vetiver, patchouli, things like that referenced in Aqua Allegoria names, do we? But we have got it here. As Rachel says, a Neroli Vetiver sounds lovely. And I think what is lovely about it, first of all, it completely seems to embody the spirit of the Aqua Allegoria. Okay, so it's clear, it's lucid, it's translucent, it's instantly and clearly legible. It doesn't seem to be trying to do anything that it shouldn't be doing. It's not overly fussy, and yet it's not it's not silly, it's not stupid. You get this really well judged Neroli note, which has the kind of requisite floral aspect and the woodiness, and also that kind of sweetness that starts going into orange blossom and starts making you think of North African confections, but not too much, because it's all also pulled in unexpected territory by this vetiver note, which isn't, I wouldn't call this a vetiver scent, okay? So don't expect Guerlain's vetiver, don't expect vetiver extraordinaire, don't expect Lalique encre noire. It doesn't do that kind of thing. Is the vetiver rooty or grassy, says Rachel? It's woody. I would say it's woody. It seems to highlight the woodiness of the Neroli. And as soon as I smelt it, I thought, right, this is going to be another Aqua Allegoria summer for me, because I thought I need to get a full bottle of this for myself and add it to the range. There is something that I always think it's interesting when perfumers manage to create that feeling of uplift and freshness and brightness and summeriness without going for those obvious citrus cliches. And there are plenty of citruses in the Aqua Allegoria range, and there's nothing wrong with doing citruses. I mean, heaven knows there's still room for doing citruses in a high quality way. But it's interesting when they take a different route. And I'm sure there is a kind of citrusy aspect to this as well. I'm sure, there's a lot of bergamot in here, but I think what I find interesting is that it isn't overly pretty, and I mean that as a compliment. So it's a summery landscape where everything is comfortable and everything is beautiful and the world is in a happy place, and heaven knows we would like the world to be in a happier place than it is at the moment. And yet maybe it's a landscape of cliffs with rocks crashing against the cliffs in somewhat dramatic fashion, and you feel the power of nature here. A lot of the recent Aqua Allegories have tended towards pinkness, prettiness, coconut notes, cocktail notes. This one just feels a little bit more, I don't want to say rugged, but you know what I mean, rock-like, strong. Is it reminiscent in any way of l'Odyssée, says Gonzalo? Oh, interesting point. It's much sweeter than l'Odyssée because of the Neroli note, but there is something about the cleanliness of it. Have you smelt it? Is that why you're asking? Because you may have something there, actually. What I should also say, just trying to get through this quickly to make sure that we have time for the next video, is that this year also, not too frothy, says Claire. Yes, absolutely. It's not frothy at all. It's not silly. But what I should also say is that this year seems to mark something of a major shift in the Aqua Allegoria range, because according to the press release that I've had, Guerlain are using it as the sort of flagship sustainable range, because I know that is something that is becoming increasingly important to a lot of people out there. It's quite a long press release, and we haven't got time to go through it all now, but they've got this tagline now for the Aqua Allegorias, and the tagline is "The world is our garden," and the whole idea is that they want to make everything as sustainable as possible. It says here, Aqua Allegoria is now more than a collection. It is a manifesto, a revolution, the ever more beautiful reinvention of perfumery for the 21st century, more precious, closer to nature and its wonders. They call Nerolia Vetiver a vibrant and luminous, fruity, woody floral. It's intriguing. It actually sort of is more intriguing than it has any right to be. I'm just skipping through this because I want to just get to the main points of what they're saying. Right. So for instance, one of the things that they've done is that the Aqua Allegoria bottles are now going to be refillable. So as it says here, made entirely and exclusively in France, the new emblematic Aqua Allegoria bottle is now made from 15% recycled glass without any loss of luster or transparency. But above all, it has been redesigned to last and be refilled, like its model, the B bottle, also created by our historical partner, Pochet du Courval, 170 years ago. Every aspect of the bottle has been entirely redesigned and its materials rethought to guarantee its unlimited use and allow Guerlain lovers to refill their precious perfume as many times as they wish, as long as it doesn't get discontinued, right? With this in mind, the gold and decorative elements have been optimized to stand the test of time. The spray bottle, because they didn't want it in the past, the spray bottle can now be manually unscrewed to refill the bottle with an easy-to-use 200 ml refill, which has the added advantage of a non-drip system and is compatible with the 75ml and 125ml formats as well. A simplified refill design in clear glass with a paper label and a simple white cap makes it more easily recyclable. Using the refill reduces carbon emissions by 60%, while reducing glass use by 24% and plastic use by 44%. And just a little bit about this particular fragrance. They call it a floral allegory of Mediterranean light to celebrate the reinvention of the Aqua Allegoria collection. Thierry and Delphine Jelk have designed an original creation with more than 95% ingredients of natural origin. A radiant Nerolia highlighted by Vetiver and refreshed by basil. That's probably what's giving it that dark feeling, combined with a delicious fig accord. But you know, it's all beautifully balanced and harmonious. Nerolia Vetiver is first and foremost an emotion, a fragrant memory of the landscapes of the island of Ischia in the Bay of Naples, the generosity of nature whose light inspires this fragrance with its freshness sculpted by shadow. It is also a love story. Thierry and Delphine Jelk, Guerlain perfumers, fell in love with an exceptional material, an extraordinary Neroli from Calabria. And by the way, there's a little footnote to that thing, because I know a lot of you will be interested in this bit. So where it says more than 95% ingredients of natural origin, the footnote explains, in accordance with the ISO 16128 standard, calculation including water. I'd like to find out a little bit more about that. There is a new Aqua Allegoria advert that you can see on the Guerlain YouTube channel. So that I think they're really going to sort of be using it as their We Care About the Planet card. Mona says, I am not so into Nerolia, but the notes sound quite interesting. It works. This one really works. And I saw somebody, there it goes, Woozy, saying, what was the longevity like for you? When I first smelt it, I wasn't particularly paying attention to how long it was lasting, but I will now. And I don't seem to remember thinking, where's it gone? You know, for an Aqua Allegoria, it was absolutely fine. So yes, thumbs up. Well done, Guerlain, for this one. Definitely one of the better ones. Thanks for tuning into this one. And if you're sticking around for the lives, I'll be back in a couple of minutes with another Guerlain, the one that Chang asked for. Okay, see you in a bit.